Hey, what's up guys? Chief Pat here, and today bringing you guys a brand new Clash Royale video. And today we're going to be upgrading the Elite Barbarians to max inside of Clash Royale and finally getting them up to level 13 now that they're one of the best cards inside of the entire game. The Elite Barbarians are like the Royal Giant, to where when they came out they were probably the worst, if not one of the worst cards inside of the entire game, and as soon as they get a crazy buff they turn into one of the best. And let's just go ahead and try it out and see if we can get some Elite Barbarians inside of our chest. And actually we're going to get the 181 that we need to upgrade them as soon as possible. So I'm going to upgrade our Elite Barbarians to max, as well as show you guys a brand new Elite Barbarian deck. Honestly, there's so many different ways to play them. A lot of people have been having a ton of success with them, including in the Crown Duel, which was the tournament that Clash Royale hosted a couple days ago. I'm going to show you guys a deck from there, and let's just go ahead and open up a couple more chests, see if we get anything else inside of it. I need Clone Spell, Tornadoes, as well as, of course, legendary cards. And you guys have been tweeting me an insane amount of chests since the new update came out. Of course, the new chest summary feature, which is the final screen for when you open a chest, shows you absolutely everything that you got. So some people have been having ridiculous chests and tweeting them to me at Chief Pat. So feel free to send me a tweet at Chief Pat if you guys get a crazy chest. Final card's going to be the Ice Wizard, which of course gets turned into gold. And let's go ahead and check out our deck right now. And it's going to be an Elite Barbarian Bowler Graveyard deck. So this deck is ridiculous. Someone was playing this at the Crown Duel and was winning with it. So I'm going to go ahead and try it out right now. It's 100,000 gold to upgrade the Elite Barbarians to level 13. And let's go ahead and try this deck out. Now the Bowler Archers are probably the starting two cards that you play, or the Ice Golem. And of course we have spells like the Zap spell, the Fireball, which I don't play a ton, and we can see if we can have success with today. And of course Elite Barbarians and the Minions. So let's go ahead and try this out right now. Now one thing I've been noticing in the comments and tweets from you guys is that a lot of people don't want me to play in challenges and they want me to play on the leaderboard. I don't know if you guys saw like the end of the last season, which was yesterday. There were so many examples of Nova win trading on the leaderboard. Not to say they're the only clan that does, but pretty much like I've told you guys since day one that I just don't like playing the leaderboard because I feel cheated when I work so hard and then people win trade and I'm not able to really, get the position that I work so hard for. But if you guys really want me to push on the leaderboard, if you guys want me to play decks like this on the leaderboard, start using some of these maxed out cards, let me know in the comments. I think I might start pushing it again due to the new clan chest, just because I want to get some crowns for my clan and I don't want to let those guys down. If you guys want me to start playing these cards on the leaderboard, just let me know in the comment section below. And I think maybe for the very next video, I'll try to go up against some level 12s and level 13s and push my way forwards. Again, not going 100% all in because there's no point in trying if I'm just going to get win traded to death at the very end of the season. But it still would be fun to try it out and push towards the top. So feel free to drop a comment if you guys want me to start playing on the leaderboard and see how much success we can have there. Now, for the very beginning of this game, you can see that this deck is pretty ridiculous. This guy's actually playing pretty well that I'm going against right now. He's got the Ice Golem to counter my graveyard. He's got a couple of other cards. I'm going to go ahead and drop my Zap spell to give my minions a little bit more time, but he's going to zap in response. But all in all, not too bad of a push. We do have a little bit of a lead right now. And as he drops the Mega Minion and Archers, I'm just going to go ahead and stop those in the tracks. He has a graveyard as well, so my Ice Golem would be able to tank those little skeletons right there. We're actually playing really similar decks with the graveyard as well as the Ice Golem. So I just got to keep that in mind going against a little bit of a mirror matchup. And speaking of mirror, our hit points are almost completely the same on our tower. So I'm going to go ahead and drop my graveyard spell now. I don't have anything to stop his archers. So all in all, this probably isn't going to do the most damage. And my Ice Golem exploded right before the Tombstone did, so it didn't give my archers a chance to really do anything. But this has just been a game of back and forth. I've got a Fireball in my hand, but I'm going to save it up for the Bowler. And all in all, this deck is really fun. So like I said, you want to drop your Bowler in the back in the very beginning. So the Bowler is your slow push, and then as your Bowler starts rumbling down the lane, you can get ready to play your Elite Barbarians, because Elite Barbarians are really, really good for catching your opponent off guard. So I'm going to Fireball down this Mega Minion. He's going to play a Zap spell. I'm going to zap his Mega Minion down as well. And actually, just like that, like I said, if your opponent doesn't respond immediately, their tower is going to go down almost instantly, and that's what happened. This dude's tower is at 148. Bowler's going to clean up everything there, and the Ice Golem is simply going to serve as a little bit of a bumper, and my Bowler is going to bowl right through it and take the very first tower of the game. Now, my opponent, once again, is using the graveyard, so over and over I'm going to have to deal with this. The minions are a great counter to the graveyard, though, so they're going to keep splitting those little skeletons up. I've got another graveyard spell prepped and ready as soon as my Bowler locks onto the tower, and just like that, we're working on tower number 2, but with 1,000 HP left on that left-hand tower, not really too much my opponent can do, and we're going to take the tower down to about half HP, but it's not really going to matter towards the end because we're going to pick up that 1-0 victory. So the Elite Barbarians, I think I played them once in that battle, maybe twice. I know we played them once, and that one push with the Elite Barbarians just ran down and took that tower out completely and gave us the very first tower of the game, and that was the only tower that got taken. So Elite Barbarians, so hard to fight against. Good counter cards to the Elite Barbarians are regular Barbarians. They actually lose a 1v1 versus regular Barbarians. The Bowler does well. I know you can play a Witch, but the Witch still will die to the Elite Barbarians if it doesn't have anything else helping it out, but it works out like pretty decently. Obviously, the Log, any sort of air cards work well against them, but they're a really, really difficult card to play it against. Usually the Elite Barbarians, you're not finding yourself in many situations where you have a negative elixir trade. And speaking of Elite Barbarians, let's go ahead and go for a push right now. We've got 2 Elite Barbarians. He's got a pair of Elite Barbarians. We've got Elite Barbarian on Elite Barbarian Madness. I'm going to drop my Fireball, and then meanwhile, my Bowler and my Archer are going to be fighting his Giants. So even with the little surprise Elite Barbarians right there, they're not going to work out perfectly. I've got my minions trying to help out on his Mega Minion as well as the Giants. And all in all, it looks like it was close to an even trade. Maybe we lost out by 150 HP, but not too bad. We know what type of deck he's playing, and we know that we're really going to have to work on getting a pretty good graveyard to be able to beat this one. And by the way, the graveyard is not necessary at all for playing the Elite Barbarians. Like, I like using graveyard and Elite Barbarians decks, but during a lot of them, I don't even play my graveyard spell because my opponent has archers, they have minions, they have some sort of good counter to the graveyard. So don't feel like you have to have a graveyard to play this. You can play it just by using Elite Barbarians and the Bowler as your like main attack techniques. You can use a Goblin Barrel, you can use anything really, but let's just go ahead and continue onwards. We got a Bowler and an Ice Spirit in the right-hand lane. He's got his Elite Barbarians over here. We're going to be able to win that 1v1 because of our tower, and as soon as our Bowler locks on, let's go ahead and drop our Graveyard spell and see if we can do any work. Now, this is actually pretty nice. The Bowler did lock on for a little bit, and it gave my Skeletons a little bit of time, but take a look at what happened. The Giant pushed my Bowler out of tower radius, so then the tower started targeting my Skeletons again, and all in all, we would have taken that tower easy if not for the fact that his Giant knocked my Bowler out of the way, but still down to about 1,000 HP, not too shabby at all. And we can go ahead and reset as we enter in the double elixir. I was about to say double OP, double OT. Anyways, let's go ahead and keep going with the Bowler. Not going to worry too much about one set of Fire Spirits, and let's go ahead and set up for a game-winning push. Now, Elite Barbarians, again, another great counter to them is the Ice Golem. Now, look at what I'm going to do. I'm going to use my Ice Golem to distract the Elite Barbarians, and look as I assassinate his archers with my Elite Barbarians. It's going to work out perfectly. He's going to play a Log spell. He's honestly getting a little bit desperate at this point, and let's go ahead and drop our Graveyard spell, and I don't know if he's really going to have a counter right here. I'm going to drop my Zap spell, really just doing the best I can, but since I zapped, I think I actually reset the aggro when the tower was locked onto my Bowler, so not really the best play. I'll Fireball down the archers as well as the tower, but this one might come to a little bit of a slow end as we might have to Fireball him down to pick up the rest of this victory. Now, another set of Elite Barbarians. I'm going to use my Bowler. It's going to knock one of the Elite Barbarians back to the Ice Golem. This is a really interesting, I guess, set of AI right here for that play, but still, we're going to be able to defend our tower. His Elite Barbarians can do nothing against our Ice Golem and Bowler defense. I'll Fireball down the Furnace right here, trying to get to the tower with the last couple of cards that we have. The tower's down to 295. And I know at this point that all we have to do is zap and Fireball the tower. I'm going to play a Graveyard on defense right here, which is pretty funny. It's really good against the Mega Minion, so why not use it? As well as it'll swallow up the Giant right there. And this should be the final push of the game. Zap spell going, Fireball going. And that's going to be GG well played against Pablo Escobar. I guess we're playing a little bit of a celebrity right there. But 1 crown to 0. And that is another victory using this deck. So the defensive Graveyard right there, which you don't see a lot. Like, I would use the defensive Graveyard against tanks. So you can use it against the Giant. You can use it against the Royal Giant, but it's a little bit more difficult against the Royal Giant because of its range. But the Giant actually is pretty decent for the Graveyard. You can use it against like the Lumberjack, probably the Mini P.E.K.K.A., but it's really just a weird situation when you use it on defense. But like I said right there, it actually can be used pretty effectively. And let's go for another Elite Barbarian Graveyard push. We get the Zap spell going down and trying to make sure we get as much damage as possible on the tower, but the Elite Barbarian on the left-hand side took the tower down to 1739. And all in all, a pretty good start to the game right there. So split Elite Barbarians, another thing that people like to do a lot. Of course, I use that a lot as well. We're going to drop our Ice Golem to distract the Mini P.E.K.K.A. I've got the minions on the Hog Rider. He's going to go ahead and play his arrows, and that's going to make his Mini P.E.K.K.A. actually target back to my tower and get 2 hits off on my tower. Wow, I did not expect that at all. And with that ice golem right there, that's just a little bit unfortunate. You know what? I'm just going to give this tower up because that was just tragic. Well, we didn't have our zap spell. I do have my zap spell now, and I'm waiting for the skeleton army. Still waiting for the skeleton army. Still waiting for the skeleton army. I'm just going to use the zap spell, trying to save my elite barbarians for a couple more hits against the tower. And he didn't play his skeleton army there, and whew, even though we gave up our tower, it gave us an elixir lead right there, and that brought down the tower to 454. So that's only 2 fireballs away from going down. So I'm feeling pretty good right now after a pretty shaky beginning to the game. Now the prediction arrows obviously didn't work so well for Wax right here, and let's see if we can go on another offensive push. I've got my ice golem, I've got my graveyard ready, and I know that he has that skeleton army that I'm sort of just scared to go against. So I'm going to try my best. I've got the minions going. There's the skeleton army right there, which won't actually be affected by my ice golem. His archers are just doing work against my minions, but still, look at the bowler go, look at the elite barbarians in the other lane. I'm pushing this guy all over the map, and that one elite barbarian is going to take out that tower and give us the very first tower of the game, as well as we have such an advantage on that left-hand side due to all the damage that we kept repeatedly doing to it. Now, the zap spell is going to go down on the goblin barrel this time. I don't want to give up another free tower, and I want to make sure I keep my lead going in the rest of this. We got the ice golem, the bowler, the archers going in as well. We should be able to bowl everything down right here, as well as a fireball is going to be so good as the bowler shoots the mini P.E.K.K.A back into the line of fire. The tower is down to 485, and like I said, worst case scenario, another set of fireballs is going to take this tower out, and let's just go ahead and get ready to see if we can finish this one off so we don't have to do that. Now, the elite barbarians, he hasn't been able to stop them so far, and let's go ahead and test him one more time. We got the zap spell ready for the skeleton army. I do have to zap, or I'm going to go ahead and let the goblin barrel do work right there just to make sure we have enough of an offensive push to get close to the tower, but actually didn't work out right there. So let's drop our bowler, let's drop our fireball, let's drop absolutely everything we have to try to take this tower out. The tower's getting so low, it's at 256. And it looks like this guy's going to be never give up, never surrender. So we're going to have to wait till we get our zap, wait till we get our fireball, and a pair of counter-attacking elite barbarians should be enough to end this one off and give us the victory. Hog Rider did nothing. Mini P.E.K.K.A obviously not going to do too much, and this should go ahead and be the end of the game. Elite barbarians and minions smacking that tower down for a 2-crown-to-1 victory. Woo! Well, guys, the elite barbarians, so strong. You guys know the name of the game. They keep dumping on towers over and over again. You can use them against royal giants. You can use them against giants. You can just throw them down the lane and let them do their thing. Even split them up and they'll take towers out by themselves. Try them out. Let me know what you think, whether you want me to push in the leaderboards inside of challenges. And that is going to wrap it up for this video. If you guys have success with this deck, send me some tweets, give me some comments. And yeah, that's going to do it. Until next time, I will see you guys later. Peace out.